Is it tiring?
Of course it's tiring.
Yeah. So
It's so tiring.
So are you good at balancing yourself and when you're tired?
Yeah.
Because I think great. Some people you have energy for like days. I mean, I'm kind of that way too.
Oh my God, I
but
get so
sometimes I burn
tired.
myself out too. So, like, what do you do when you feel that you're getting to a burnout point and you have a lot going on?
Like even this week, right? Like I was here all last weekend and it was like show after show, activity after activity. And like, you don't even have time to think. You're just doing.
Yeah.
And then you meet all these people and it's like, you know, your social, even though I have such a strong social battery, like it dies.
Right.
So all of this week I did nothing but take care of myself.
Okay.
It is about balance and it goes in waves because sometimes you do deplete yourself and you're like, oh my God, like I already promised this, I gotta follow through. I'm huge on like, if I promised it, I'm gonna follow through.
Yep.
So even when you are so exhausted, I'm like, I still will do it. But then I'm like, okay, I'm going to cancel this, this, and this though. So I can have 3 days of nothingness in the dark or I'm just doing nothing but play gardenscapes. Like, so it is about balance too, because you do need to like rejuvenate yourself so that you can be your very best. Because if you're not, like your brain's all wonky. Like earlier this week, I was just like not even in a place where I could function because I was so physically and emotionally like depleted. And so you do absolutely need to take care of yourself and you need to have a plan for that too.
Yeah.
And my plan looks differently each time. Sometimes it's really being around friends that are healing. So even though my social battery is so low, like they're not draining my social battery, they're providing me extra like energy, you know? And then sometimes it's just me by myself. Sometimes it's just me being around my kiddos. I don't have kids, but my nieces and nephews, like my kiddos. Or sometimes it's just like being like alone where I'm off social media and I'm literally just meditating and doing nothing but like feeling my feels. So it's just whatever works for you and how that plays out, I guess. But it matters.
Yeah, I mean the
you
reason
should plan for that.
The reason I ask is because since the beginning of the conversation, the energy has been very, very like you're go, right?
I am.
But I also asked that because there's parts of me where I can't. I'm like that too. But I also know where it wears me out. Like I also realize that it tires me out, and I think I want to talk about it because I think that people need I want it to be heard that everybody's just a human being who gets tired as well, and it's something that you have to think about.
Yes,
it's something you have to think about, and then you have to talk about because I hate when you see people who seem to do well and they don't talk about the downside of that.
Right. Yeah,
and it's important to talk about it because I always feel like I want to. It's real life, and I want to always hear that part from people because that's where I learn the most. Like everybody can be successful, and that's all we hear on TV. But I'm never interested by that. I mean, I am interested by that when I'm in the mood.
But it's like almost like not real sometimes.
Yeah. I want to hear like where do you struggle because because I just want to. Maybe it's to selfishly feel normal about myself that okay, we all get tired. Good, but it needs to be talked about because, and I just want to highlight it because this conversation has been very, very, really like go.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring it down a notch and
No,
just
and I
like
think
let's
that's
talk
real
about the
too.
downside of it.
Like I was just texting you, like I mean, I think even just my social media post this week was like I'm struggling too. You know, like there is a duality to like you can have all this energy, but then you're also so drained. You can know that you're on the right path, but then feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like there's all of these things there's nuances to it, right? Like I'm sure we all feel that. Like you know you're on the right path, but then you're also like not sure if you are. So I definitely am high energy, but I'm also like tired too. And so like this week was incredibly tough for me actually. Like this week processing through everything, like you know I'm grieving like 3 big things right now in my life, like big changes in my life, and it took so much out of me. Like it took so much out of me this week. But again, I think I just learned how to take care of myself. And like, I really have learned just like how to cope through hard times. And so sometimes you just got to feel your feels even when it sucks.
Yeah.
But
I think I'm learning how to do that now just because like my downtime was always like self-destructive. And so it was always like boozing hard, you know, that's like my...
But that's the weird thing about you though, because you were a bodybuilder, bro, for like so many years. Yeah. Maybe you just got to go back to the gym, dude.
Yeah, like, because I go hard and then it's like my downtime is like, all right, my downtime is just as hard. You know, I go down, probably more like, you know, deep down.
It's hard to figure out what you got to do on your downtime, especially if if like you said, you've already committed to a lot of things, you know, if you've already committed to a lot of things and you are a person of your word, then it's like sometimes you forget that to even take the time, or you don't forget, but you don't have the time. Like you literally don't have the time to take the time, even though you know you need the time.
Yeah.
And then you are, and especially if you're a person who's really like, I'm a person of my word and I'm gonna get after it. Sometimes you just keep stretching it, and that's kind of where. This is not
like
a big, huge
die.
therapy session. That's where I'm at right now. I'm stretching it out.
Yeah.
I've been stretching it out, so I cannot
But that's
wait
why I say, like, you
to
are a
chill.
person your word, but there are certain things that you can cancel.
Yeah.
Like, you know, where it doesn't impact the other person, where you can, like, okay, you say you're going to go to an event, you don't need to go if it's not going to impact them.
It's not a huge meeting,
Yeah.
But for,
So-
I don't know. I need to find my disconnect. I think I'm due for it, but my disconnect is like I need to get out of the country.